Okay, so in this video, I want to talk about this idea of the stock market crashing or correcting at the moment. We are sort of in that correction territory. I want to go through this and my thoughts. And we've got to say that, look, you've got people on both sides, really. You've got people saying that there's going to be a market crash. You've got others saying that the market is just going to recover very, very fast in the next couple of weeks. Don't worry about it. But I'm here to sort of give a bit of a realistic approach to this as well, in the middle, really. I do think this month is going to be a bit of a rocky month for the stock market. This month's going to be a bit up and down. I do believe that. I do think that in the long term, if you've got a lot of long-term stocks, nothing to worry about. These are the times to be buying if you've got some long-term stocks. I mean, if you've got some swing trade plays, it's a bit rocky at the moment. But if you've got some long-term plays that you're investing in, I wouldn't worry about it too much because you can average down. It's a time to average down. So you've got this approach of people saying there's a stock market crash, or there's going to be, kind of information on that side, and then the people saying that everything's fine, everything's going to recover. Now, what I want to do is kind of give a strategic sort of thoughts on this and where I think what's going to happen and where I think it's heading. Again, I've got to say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a business teacher in my daily life, but I'm by no means an expert on the stock market. So let's go through this stock market here. Now, one point to remember is fear, and people, I mean, when they see the portfolio down, of course, you're going to feel a bit uncomfortable, but it's important to not feel fearful of that, especially if you've got long-term players. It's a time to average down. So looking at this, you've got this quote: be fearful when there is greed and be greedy when there is fear. So Warren Buffett. So I think that in certain particular areas and industries, we are getting a bit of an overreactive sell-off in a way. And I think that marginally it's going down a massive amount in comparison to other industries. So we're seeing particular industries that are having a bit of more of a overreactive sell-off, I would say. And I do think that, look, and that's out of fear. People are selling out of the positions out of fear, right? Where I would see it as is to be strategic of actually increasing your positions in the long-term stocks, okay? Because at the end of the day, the prices that you see them at now is not the prices that you will see them in 3 to 5 years' time, okay? So if you're averaging down on stocks now and getting an even cheaper price, then you're going to maximize your returns into the longer term. So essentially, it creates opportunities. And to be honest, a correction is healthy for the stock market. I mean, if it kept going up and up and up rapidly, I would be very worried of a bubble. And when it would be crashing, it would, drop like a ton of bricks, so to speak, on your portfolio. And it may feel like that now, but actually this is only a bit of a correction now. It's not a crash at the moment. It's a correction. So what it is if you've got long-term players, I think it's important to average down on them. And I think rather than seeing it as a bad thing that they're down, see it as you got to switch your mindset, right? You got to think, actually, this is a great opportunity to be buying the companies that I love. Now, if you've done your research into some of these companies that you're holding long-term, you should be happy that they're going down because you're able to get them at a cheaper price, a really, really cheaper price. And it's just fantastic that you're able to do that. So you've switched the mindset. Oh well, in the short term, these long-term players are down, but actually, that's a good thing because if you're investing in them and you want to put more cash into them, then it's going to go up over the longer term. So you can establish a larger position. You can you call leveling up your portfolio, right? You can build your bigger positions in these long-term stocks at times when the market's down. And that is really important to do. And as it says, I mean, Warren Buffett, as he says, be fearful when there is greed and be greedy when there is fear. And a lot of people are in fear right now, selling out of the positions because of the market being down slightly. And it's okay to sell out of maybe your swing trade positions, the more speculative plays. It's up to you what you do, right? It's your portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. But I think for your long-term plays, for companies that you believe in, you should hold on tight to those if you've done your massive research into these companies here. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, what have I averaged down on? I've averaged down on ChargePoint, okay, the EV player. I've averaged down on a range of stocks actually, but ChargePoint's the main one recently. Okay, so I'm looking to average down on the players that I'm holding, that I see myself holding for the long term. Okay, there is also some UK stocks recovery plays that I've been establishing a bit of a bigger position in. They've been doing quite well recently as well, actually. No, that's really good stuff. So yeah, so what it is to try and average down on any long-term plays, but do it in a strategic way. Don't just, take your cash pile at this particular point in time and then just use it all because the market's down today, because we don't know if it's going to go a bit further, and it could go a bit further, right? It could go a bit further. So you want to gradually sort of build out your stronger positions in these long-term plays in these coming 2-3 weeks, I would say. I do think that this month's going to be a rocky one. We're going to have up days, we're going to have down days, but very much so in this month. But I do think in the future months, going on into the future months, it's going to be a bit better. And I just think this is just going to be a rocky month. That's what I think, anyways. Now, what I would say is opportunity as well. So you got this picture here. It's about growing your portfolio. So the plays that you're holding in the long term are going to grow over time, just like a plant starts out small and grows over time. The stocks that you invest in long term are going to grow over time. So it's an opportunity to just water that portfolio, if you like. If you want to use that similarity to that, it's watering your portfolio, putting more money into the positions you're holding long term and getting some really good deals on those. So you should really be happy about the fact you're able to get some really good deals on the positions that you're holding long term. Now, there's also the importance of a cash pile as well. So thankfully, I mean, I've managed to keep a cash pile on the side ready for when there is this correction that's sort of going on at the moment. So I'm strategically, surely but steadily increasing my positions in my long-term stocks as we see this correction. So it's really important if you didn't do this time round, but maybe going into the future, see it as maybe a bit of a learning curve, where try to have a bit of a cash pile on the side, so when it does go down, you've got the money to actually invest in positions. So you don't put your full cash into the stock market. Actually have some cash on the side ready to actually invest in when when we're having many red days. Okay, and that's the best way to do it, really, is have that cash pile there. So I've spent some of my cash pile, but I've still got some of it left. Okay, so I've got about £2,000 left in my cash pile, which isn't a lot, to be fair, but I'm buying steadily, slowly but surely, taking strategic decisions, being selective. Like I say, only one today in terms of ChargePoint, but I'm looking at others as well in terms of trying to get some good deals that I'm holding long. So again, having that cash pile is really important. So what I would say is not to worry too much, to consider looking into your more long-term plays, establishing high positions in those. Do it strategically over these next number of days or weeks, okay? And I think that it's going to actually benefit your investor portfolio in the long run. So hopefully that was a bit of, I don't know, maybe a bit of comfort to people or whatever it is, right? But hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you did, then do smash the like button, as it does help out the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Welcome. We cover penny stocks, we cover growth stocks and long-term stocks. We do a lot of penny stocks at the moment. And I would say, actually, it's okay to be buying some of these penny stocks that are getting really dirt cheap at the moment, but it's about being selective on the ones that you want, okay? So find the ones that you really believe in as a company, hold on to those, and buy the dips, okay? in my opinion. I've got to say that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm buying the dips in. I mean, if I could, I would buy more CLIS. Okay, because it moved up massively and then it moved down, and the penny stocks have been hit a lot recently because of the market. Everybody knows that when the market's down, penny stocks get hit even more. That's just how it happens. But there is some out there that maybe long-term holds or medium-term holds that it's really good time to actually be buying the dips on those. But then obviously bear in mind the volatility at the moment with that. So there's all sorts of different decisions that can be made, but I think this is the right time to keep steady and make those strategic decisions wisely. So thanks for watching this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the notification bell, join the stock club if you haven't already. We've got our stock club there in terms of we talk about different stocks and all the rest of it. So do join that as well. And I'll see everybody in the next one.